inside now, inside the Portnoy Gallery, and we are now going to get you some live shots of the studio as the evening commences. Already, we talked about some of the artwork, particularly this corner. You see some of the sports, the athletes, the coaches over the years that Neil, the diehard sports fan himself, has illustrated. And this is the Portnoy style. This is what you're going to see in the portraits, in the caricatures. And you hear Neil. We have live entertainment, we have music, we have food, refreshments. Neil is taken to the mic now, presenting everything. It's a big night for him. It's a big night for everyone involved. We're going to do everything we can to show you pretty much all that's in store here as our coverage continues. But just get a look at some of this sports art. Everything through Georgia Tech basketball, through New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox baseball, Deacon Jones tribute, Miami Dolphins 72, the Lakers, all your classic sports icons and mythological figures that are kind of storied in all other ways of entertainment and media. Art is no exception, and Neil likes to capture that very essence in his work. We'll go ahead and give you a look now what's going on with the presentations.
Helps with the raffle and make sure
Bring the mic up there. Want to hold it up there?
there's a little amaryllis ready to grow.
Look here.
Next up, I'd like to have Bar and John come up.
Pine Hollow Winery is supplying the wine tonight. They're located on Charleston up near Summerlin. And they've been with us now a number of months, and taste the wine. It's great wine coming from someone who doesn't drink.
Hi, we're located at 7018 West Charleston Boulevard, Tenaya and Charleston. We've been there for 3 years. We produce all of our wines in-house. Currently, we offer 19 different wines. We try to bring things here that are not here, meaning wines from all over the country. We bring in the juices and the grapes and the fruits. So we produce everything in-house at our location. So stop by and see us. We've always got something going on.
I also want to mention that you're going to see a camera and microphone walking around the gallery. Over to my left here is Aaron Ellikis from GoLive Vegas that streams on multiple platforms all over the world. And he's got an incredible recording, video, podcast studio at his home. So if you want any information about doing a podcast or any kind of video work and kind of websites and anything where he can make money, I'm trying to make him Jewish. Reach out to Aaron. His wife Raquel is also floating around, and they will do a couple interviews tonight. They'll walk around with the microphone and the camera, and feel free to say anything you want to say. You want to add anything to that, Aaron? No, not at all. In fact, Aaron is also on the Portnoy Wall of Honor, directly across from me, second row. You'll see him. Yeah, you'll recognize him because you know everybody up there. David Orloff, come up, please. David has been with us for the 3 years, graciously donating his talents of taking pictures, editing all of them, putting them on social media, reaching out to people, and they reach out to him. David Orloff is a phenomenal photographer, again, available for a lot of different events. David, thanks for who you are, what you do for us, and what you do for Las Vegas. then he's got to take David's camera. You know the drill. Well, where are your glasses? All right, Brian Opal, come on up. Now also, Brian has joined us over the last couple of years. He's also the official photographer of a radio show that I do, Vegas Live Entertainment Radio, KMZQ, 670 AM every Saturday at 5 o'clock, Facebook Live and on AM radio. He's the official photographer, and he's also a tremendous dog sitter. He's sat for my little puppy. He and his fiance now, Gigi, raise your hand, say hi. They just got engaged. They graciously came and took care of our dog while we were gone for the day doing an event. Brian Opal.
To a little more music, and then we're going to do
we're going to do the induction ceremonies at 8 o'clock, so make sure everybody gets in the room, because we got two classic people. I know Stevie Dunham's been working on his acceptance speech, narrowed it down from 4 hours to 2 hours to 1 hour, fell asleep, woke up again, and it's down to what, 2 minutes now? At least 2 minutes. Okay, back to the music.
All magic markers, crazy what it is. The original is only this big. Those are the enlarged.
Congratulations, guys.
Even the one sports corner.
Oh, do you go to the sports
Oh
room?
my God. The one with the 72 Dolphins. Awesome.
So were you guys going to be? Were you guys going to be?
Right up on parking lots where we're going to be talking, but we're going to be walking around. Yeah, so we're going to get like, we're going to be walking around. And now the music festivities are back underway. Whole night of entertainment. And rightfully so. If you're going to be in the entertainment capital of the world, where else to be than one of the best art galleries out there? And this is really what's, and again, this is part of the fun. You get Aaron with the camera. We're just using a cell phone here and a mic because we want to capture this in the essence of really what it's all about. And just look at some of this art. Neil even mentioned it. They're this big when they start this, all in magic marker. Look at what it becomes. Elephants, impalas, red pandas, green sea turtles, jaguars, leopards, rhinoceroses. It's incredible.
Sunday, and I was like, well,
Look at this stuff. A lot of this stuff I'm seeing for the first.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, you're fine. You're fine.
We have another hot
hear-
mic. It looks like
Can you
Raquel back in our setup
He
has it
probably-
rolling.
Yeah, no, I'll come by next Sunday.
Total legends. I can't believe you are the living legend here at our shows.
All right. I'll bring. I was gonna say I'll bring booze, but I mean, yeah, I'll bring booze. I like booze. Of course you do. I have booze in there waiting, but all right, I'm gonna. Okay. He's probably. Oops, excuse me.
And
No, I know. So we got this. We got this.
now
We're
that
back. We're
now you
back.
understand where all that background noise was coming
That's
from.
coming from me.
As
That's
Mary
coming
Murphy
from
now
me.
joins the festivities. as Mary Murphy now joins the festivities, and we are again
Hi,
in
how
the
are
gallery,
you?
in the studio, and pretty impressive, huh?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing over here. So
And we both, no, go ahead.
we are at the Portnoy Gallery for the WAM, which is Wine, Art, and Music, and it's a fantastic time here again.
Absolutely, and we have the live entertainment. We have refreshments. You saw some of the festivities of it all with Neil and some of the guests talking. We're going to have presentations, awards. We have two people getting the distinguished honor of being Portnoyed here tonight. So a lot of acknowledgement, a lot of tribute, and rightfully so. But we're going to continue to go around here and just show you some of the work. We've shown you some of the sports work, some of the animal portraits here. All this starts out, as Neil said, Mary, this big, using a magic marker.
Magic marker. And so what we have behind us right now is part of their endangered species collection.
Yeah.
And Neil, now it's a national calendar day, and so it's the Endangered Species Day that these were created for. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this was actually something that was heavily promoted by Neil for months. This was a big, big deal. And all of these animals are on the official endangered species list. That continues to fluctuate as conservation efforts gradually change throughout the natural world. But this is a way of him to keep his thumb on that, to shine some light on it. And that's what he does with his art. He tells stories. He brings certain things of culture and everyday life to life.
Right, and so originally Neil was starting off with just doing caricatures, and he's done all the celebrities here in Las Vegas, and most recently he has expanded his portfolio to include things such as the endangered species, as well as a new series, which are scenes from around the world, and they are beautifully detailed scenes from around the world. They are available for purchase, original and or prints. And have you taken a look at those?
Let's go do so right now.
We should go take a look at those. They are beautiful, and it's his most recent series.
Yes, and again, yeah, absolutely. We're going to wander around as much as we can. That's what's so cool about this entire gallery. You see the evolution of the work. You see some stuff that's a little older when he first had certain creative interests, and now you go a different route. You go with the endangered species. You have a lot with the sports, the teams, the coaches, the athletes, all in the mix as we have this live entertainment right here in the studio on a special night for Neil Portnoy and all of his affiliated artists and friends and close ones.
Friends, I mean, everyone here are friends, right? So this is a big circle of friends that get together once a month to celebrate each other, celebrate the arts, celebrate some wine, and listen to some fantastic music from our beloved community of entertainers here in Las Vegas.
And that's what's so cool, because last time you saw Mary and myself, we were down at First Friday doing the exact same thing. A little bit of a different vibe. So it just goes to show here at GoLive Vegas, we're going to tap into every avenue, every pool that we can. Last night, or a few nights ago, last time around, we were out in the Arts District, and now here we are in one of the coolest galleries you will see in the Las Vegas Valley, and really anywhere.
Anywhere, really anywhere. I mean, you walk in and just wall to wall of these amazing pictures that Neil has done himself, hand painted, right? And the detail is just something to be mesmerizing. It's really incredible.
Mary, I'm going to go ahead and give you the torch here. You got to walk around, show us what's in store here. We already did a great job showcasing the endangered species. We showed you some of the sports, the athletes, the teams. But let's show you what else we have in the wings here.
So this is part of the Endangered Species Collection, and this is what has made Endangered Species Day a real thing for the calendar and for Las Vegas. And if you look at the details, such as my beloved turtle here, this is one of my personal favorites. And again, the vibrancy, it just reaches out to you. And even if you take a look over here, the eyes just come out. This is the type of work that we're talking about that Neil is able to do with these types of endangered species. Yes. I don't know where Brent is. Brent took off.
Here.
I don't know where Brent
is. Kind of planning ahead here, because again, there's so much. We can kind of go spot to spot here. But again, we transition here. You see a lot more of the athletes. Neil always tapped in, as he told us earlier, to the sports scene. He was a coach himself. He was an athlete. He knows what sports means to this town now, what it really has always meant, but what it especially means now that we as a sports market are growing. So no better time than now to showcase your art in the sports world. And it's not just Vegas, it's all around. Of course, the Boston Celtics, the Red Sox, you have Larry Bird, Pedro Martinez, the late great Dale Earnhardt, Big Poppy David Ortiz, Bill Belichick. You have the old Washington. You have the old Washington, Miami portraits. New England, if you want to go a little more modern day. Franco Harris, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer. There's really no cap on it all. It's just anything you could possibly want. And so much that we show you here on GoLive Vegas when we do these remote shows are things that reflect, passions and different just ideas. And this is what goes through Neil's mind. A lot of it's creatively inspired. A lot of it's just inspired by the fact he's a sports fan, just like many of you watching and listening right now. And if you're a music fan, we have plenty of that for you as well.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to jump in here
Please,
because I am a music fan.
This is
I cannot
incredible.
speak of sports. However, now you've gotten into my area right here. So if you look at around, the majority of what you are seeing here are some of his really early works when he was just getting into what he's so well known now to do. And if you notice that they are mostly in black and white and some grayscale, which is quite different from what you see in the larger gallery, right?
Yes, more vibrant colors, right? This is a different palette, yes.
But this is absolutely the quintessential of Neil Portnoy and what he's able to do. But again, he started off with detail. He has ended with detail. He continues with detail. And even looking at I can't even, there's so many in here.
You have Frank Zappa, Jerry Garcia, Mick Jagger, Bruce Springsteen,
James Taylor,
Barbara Streisand, Michael Jackson, Elton John,
Marilyn Monroe,
Jimi Hendrix,
list goes on
Stevie,
and on.
Stevie
it just
Wonder,
never ends.
Bono, Jim Morrison, Bruce Lee. We have everybody. The Beatles. You can have everyone you could possibly want. Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, celebrities of all walks of life. And as Neil said, if you want to distinguish Honor being Portnoy, you have to be some type of contributing entertainer to the Vegas Valley. But he taps into art from any culturally significant entertainer in the history of pop culture.
And it's not just the big celebrities. He also celebrates our local celebrities and giving them a place in his gallery, which is so wonderful for those who are local to our community and who we love and we enjoy listening to. And so it's not just about the celebrities and the high-end stars, if you will, but it's also our stars, right? The heartbeat of Las Vegas.
It's the pulse.
It is the pulse. And this is what makes Las Vegas so vibrant and different from so many other cities in the country and around the world, is that everyone comes here because here you, in fact, can become a star. And so Neil is part of that. Neil is part of that dream for everyone that comes here.
Absolutely. And that's the key word. It's always been a city of glitz and glam and of stars and of entertainment. But it's not necessarily the big acts that you'll see on the Strip. It's not necessarily the big lounge acts that, have become iconic names. You'll get that as well as you see in rooms like this. And now, of course, with the sports stars, these celebrities in that pool as well, in the room we just saw. But look at the endangered species we just showed you. Look at some of the intimate portraits, the things that you think wouldn't have as much attention placed on them.
That's right.
He addresses that as well.
He does. And like I said, he is expanding his work. He's expanding his portfolio. And now he's moving into more things such as the endangered species, but are also scenes from around the world. And there's no telling where he's going to bring his work now and within the future. But what it shows is his ability to take an idea and really expand upon it as an artist, and just feel fearless with it. And so we celebrate Neil and his work, and Dorothy, and just our wonderful hosts here at WHAM.
And I love that because fearless is the word, especially with your background. The host of the Absurdist podcast knows a thing or two about being fearless.
Yes.
Really quick, though, I just want to bring this up. Mary, you know a thing or two about how this whole operation, but I got to say, you're not dressed casually. You look incredible, and I mean that in a go. You look incredible tonight.
I appreciate
Explain to me what nights like this mean to you.
It means so much to me to be here. I'm celebrating with friends, people that I enjoy, not just as artists and entertainers, but true friends. And so one of my dear friends is being inducted tonight into the Portnoy Gallery, and I am so excited for him. Yes, I am dressed a little bit more than what I usually would. So this is a casual event,
and that was my next question. question because
Yeah.
you know what this is all about. You're a frequent here at Wham. Is this like a
Yes.
special occasion or
This
is this
is
more
a
of a?
special
I love
occasion
it.
for me because one of my dear friends is being inducted tonight, and also to celebrate the holiday season. So that's another wonderful thing
Absolutely.
that Dorothy and Neil do so well with all of us here is they bring in and they celebrate really every day, every month. But during the holiday season, it
Yes.
feels like family here,
And it needs to, right? Because it's an intimate time of
it's
year.
very
It's a
much
joyful,
so.
it's a warm, festive time of
Yes.
year. And really, Vegas, we know this by being here for a while. I mean, I've been here my whole life, and you now have been here long enough to where you could get a grip
Enough,
of it.
yes.
Yeah. Vegas does the holidays right.
They do.
They
They
really
really
do.
do. If you want to dress up for the holidays, this is the place to come, right?
Yes.
Because you are never going to be overly dressed.
Never.
And you can never be underdressed either, because again, it is a circle of community
Yes.
here who embraces everything in between. So,
and not to cut you off, but
yeah.
for anybody who was out there, we'll bring you back out in a few minutes. There's still plenty to show you, but you see the live entertainment. Just look at how casual it is. This isn't like some stuffy, snobby art clientele like the stereotype will say.
Exactly, and
Right.
it's not. But one thing I wanted to mention now that you're talking about that, all the pieces of art that you see on the wall, everything is for sale.
Yes.
The original pieces are what the majority of what you're going to see. And then Neil also offers prints. So for those of you who want a piece of this in your own home, in your office,
Yes.
you are able to get that. And if you want something a little bit more achievable, whatever your budget may be, there's always something here for someone.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's so cool because whether it be the art itself or whether it be gifts, anything from coffee mugs to ornaments, it could be just a little memento. It could be something big for your room, your lounge, your study, your office. Right.
I have a tote bag of the turtle. Right. It's one of my favorite possessions.
And the green sea turtle is
That's
incredible.
right.
It's one of my favorite animals on earth. I literally, absolutely. And we'll go ahead and get some audio for as the presentation continues. Still plenty of art to show you. But we'll go ahead and focus on what's going on here in the main room of the studio, the main floor, with Neil now at the mic.
Let's get the word out. And then every morning, you know, when it was their birthday, I'd get up and I'd post it on social media and their fan base would love it. Well, I'm still posting every day on the birthday, except now there's over 450 people I've done. So I get up every morning, sit on the bench before I get dressed and brush my teeth and go, all right, whose birthday? And then come up with a catchy saying and then do a social media post. But tonight we have two very special people entering the elite, now elite, Portnoy Wall of Honor. Dorothy, who do you want to bring up first? Dorothy. Oh, okay, Spillage on row 9. Stevie Dunham, come on up.
And we're now going to begin to show you,
now, a little background.
We mentioned earlier, Raquel and myself, the Portnoys.
Stevie is the Don of vinyl. He has one of the world's largest collections of vinyl with his company, Street Corner Entertainment. He is a doo-wopper. You know, it's not like a Generation Z or X or Y or whatever we're up now. He's the real deal. A New York doo-wop street corner singer, has sung with all the greats. And I'm now going to read his bio. I asked Stevie to send me his bio, and 3 hours later, I had 37 pages. But that's typical of Stevie. He forgets stuff, and then he remembers and sends you another text. And if you ever get into a text with Stevie, take that next hour and do nothing because you won't stop. Stevie Dunham, a pioneer in oldies music. For over 37 years, Stevie Dunham has shaped the music industry as the founder of Street Corner Entertainment Records, the SCE record label group, specializing in the oldies genre and evolving into contemporary music. His label is the first oldies record label in rock and roll history to earn a Grammy nomination.
Didn't get the
Let
trophy
me do my
yet.
comedic act. Will you please?
I'll hold back.
All right, good.
You're doing good so far.
And feature a rock and roll Hall of Fame artist, his friend, I know you'll know this name, Little Anthony from Little Anthony and the Imperials. As a singer-songwriter, music producer, vocal arranger, and DJ, he has performed with groups like the Five Boroughs, Emerald Dreams, and The Chaperones, and worked with such legends as Eugene Pitt, Johnny Maestro, and Harvey Fuqua. His label, the #1 oldies label in the United States, also serves as a platform to mentor emerging artists. He's been a Las Vegas resident for over 32 years. His 2006 book, Acapella Street Corner Vocal Groups, earned awards and accolades. And in 2023, he received a Grammy nomination for producing Little Anthony's New York State of Mind. Beyond music, he advocates for special needs children and seniors, solidifying his legacy as both an industry reader and community advocate. Welcome to the Portnoy Wall of Honor. Take a picture. Look straight ahead. Stop crying.
Yeah, right. Look at me, please. Look up here, please. Look up here. And now him. You want to do it with your cell phone?
One more over here. Now, I have Stevie say a few things, but he is, and we cut him down to 2 minutes. If I let him text, we'd be here for 3 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Dunham.
Thank you so much, Dorothy, Neil. This is an honor that I never expected, and wow, I didn't know I did all that stuff. I forgot.
You did much more. I cut it out.
Yes, I did. 37 years in this industry, and I was mentored by two really great people in my life, Eugene Pitt and Frank Iovino, which are in the Heavenly Choir. I have a couple of people here that they mean a lot to me. My family in particular, right here. They're all sitting right here. And Frankie Sitcho has been with me for nearly 40 years, and a guy that's I know for as long, who's a legend, one of 8 original 1950s rock and rollers, and is still active to this day, Mr. Vic Donna. He's right here. And he's part of the Street Corner Entertainment family, and I'm very proud. And I have an up-and-coming consideration. Please stand up. Miss Lunia de la Guardia, she's being considered for our label to be on our family as well. Yes, in January she'll be singing here at this gallery for all of you to enjoy. She's a great singer. I produced her last night, and she did phenomenal. And two paths led me down this journey, and I thank God for the gift he gave me. Number one, the street corners of Brooklyn, New York when I was 10 years old, singing, and then record collecting at 14. And thank you, Neil, for pointing it out. Thank you all. You're all lovely, and I love each and every one of you. God bless.
Our next inductee. What's not been said about Patty Powers, singer, performer, recording artist? Dave wrote all this. Hailing from the picturesque Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, which is now under 3 feet of snow. That's true. Patty Powers began performing at age of 3, charming audience with her unique talent. Known for her masterful phrasing, improvisation, and emotional connection, her voice has been likened to a fine cabaret funk, timeless, rich, and refreshing. With a repertoire spanning jazz, pop, and the Great American Songbook, she has shared the stage as backup for legends such as Chuck S.
Yeah, come on, get in the shot. We need you in the shot.
No, I was going to put her up in 2 seconds. Nobody listens to me. She shared the stage as a backup for legends such as Reddy, Barbra Streisand, Aretha Franklin, and James Taylor. Her acclaimed solo album, A Perfect Love, offers a soulful celebration of love and life. Whether performing Ella Fitzgerald, Bonnie Raitt, or the Beatles, Patty's performances captivate and inspire audiences. She often collaborates, like she is tonight, with her husband, accomplished pianist and keyboardist Dave Marinelli. delivering unforgettable musical experiences that resonate with all who listen. Patty Powers, welcome to the Portnoy, Colorado. Everybody crying.
That's right. All right. Photo op. All right. You're in the middle, Patty. Hold it. So we can see it.
you can see it?
I want to see it.
Well, I like looking at myself. Is
Thank
that
you.
okay?
Well, and this way we get a good picture. Smiles. Look at here.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. Don't talk. All right. Not him.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Got a big old teeth showing. A big horse teeth.
Welcome.
And
Do you have that outfit I created, by the way?
I'm going to get it. I'm having it made.
No, Dave just ordered it on Amazon. It's coming tonight.
no, well, we got you guys here. Stevie, come up here with your lap. There you go. Yep, we need it.
I talk while I'm singing.
All right, so you two, now the four of you, you're on the end. Yeah, we'll do it this way. All right, Smiles, look at me, please. All right, hold on. Hold on. Okay, now hold on.
Exactly what he said.
Thank you. I'll never see these pictures ever. You will. Now there's the two of you. Now the two of you. All right, so in, out, there you go. You know how this works. All right, Smiles, you're still in the shot, Neil. So, there. I can crop you, but why? So, all right, there you go. His turn. And that's a wrap.
Welcome to the wall, you guys.
Okay, that's a wrap. All inductees have been inducted into the
Also, don't
Portnoy
forget the Tyler Robinson
Hall of
Foundation
Fame
for
on the
keeping
walls.
the
That is a wrap for Wham tonight. We still have a lot to go here, a lot of music, a lot of wine, a lot of art to take a look at. So our time here has just begun. Keep around, join us. We're going to take a look at some of Neil's newest series that round a world and take a look and see exactly what he's doing next. And I believe Brett is going to be taking a look. I think he's down. Yeah, let's take a look and see what Brett is up to down here. And we're going to follow him down the hallway and see exactly where he is headed. And there he is. Hey, Brett, what are you up to down this hallway?
Just filling myself in
Oh,
some
I
of this other
see.
incredible. At this point, it's more the photographs that really reflect Neil's
Yes.
journey and his career. And this is actually an important time to show you this because
Yes.
we've showed you so far some of the work. You just saw a lot of the sentimental stuff, really. I mean, whether you want to
Yes.
admit it or not, you got some tears, you got
There's
some misty
tears
eyes in
going
there.
on. There's some
It's-
tears, even from me. I mean,
it's a big
you know,
night.
It's a big night for these folks, and for me, it's a big night to see a friend of mine.
1000%.
But you're right. You walk down the hallway, and here is a history. Here's the
Yes.
history of not just Neil, but also Dorothy. So you see Dorothy in the
100%.
pictures in the
She's
in
in
the
it.
shots
Dorothy's
as well.
in it every bit as many.
She is one of the most loveliest people I have met here in
Yep.
Vegas, and what a supporter of not just art and not just friends, but you heard community. And so we are doing a charity event where there's
Yes.
a raffle that started with the Imagine Dragons, and we do this every single month, trying to raise knowledge, raise awareness, and raise money
Yep.
to help in those causes. But this is what Neil and Dorothy do so well on a monthly basis: is bring friends, big families in here and celebrate this history, the history that they have shared together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool because we see the final product as we take you in the different wings of the studio. But here, you kind of see how it all materializes. You get to see how the
Yes.
networking, the connections, how they're kind of manifested, how they're brought to life. Neil and Dorothy build these relationships with
That's
people.
right.
And it doesn't just come through in their
Exactly.
art. It comes
Yes.
through in their entire storybook.
Their entire story. So for 18 years, they have been married, and for the 18 past years, they have been working together to build this type of a community. And you can see in these pictures that these are candid shots
Very.
with some very notable celebrities, but also politicians,
Yes.
sports people around and across all different genres. Neil and Dorothy really go the extra mile to get to know who is in
1000%.
our city.
It's
And
all encompassing, and that's what's
it
so cool
is.
because in Vegas, every little nook and cranny of entertainment is often reflected in the live
That's
entertainment.
true.
But it's also important to reflect it in those capstone experiences, whether it be a picture,
Yes.
a photograph, or a painting, an illustration,
Everything.
something that could really kind of cement it in
Yes.
time. That's what Neil and Dorothy are masters
They
at.
do, they
Yeah.
do. And I've always called this Las Vegas a big little town.
Always.
Right? And so it's
Always.
a big little town because it is a ginormous town on the outside, but on the inside, when you're in these moments,
Close-knit.
in these very intimate settings, it's very close knit and you feel like you're a part of a community as opposed to this ginormous city, which is the entertainment capital of the world. But right here, right now, tonight at Wham, this is the place to be.
No
this
doubt.
is where you want to be tonight.
And that's what's so cool, because there's an energy, there's a buzz, and yes, it's because of the music, it's because of the live entertainment, but it's really the community, it's the
It
mingling,
is.
it's the small little casual conversations that is celebrating art, but celebrating relationships as well.
I agree. I agree. And what better way to bring us back than to the voice and sounds of Patty Powers singing and bringing us back into the music in the middle of the art.
And this is a very important night for Patty as well. At Steve, we saw them with the honor of being Portnoy. That's what it's all about. And now we see the celebration, and the night is still young.
Give me five. Give me five.
So Mary's gonna go mingle. That's what she's here to do. That's what she's best at. We'll catch back up with her in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit more what's here. Then we'll go ahead and take a quick break, reset, and we'll go back outside and recalibrate with Raquel. We still have a lot to talk about on that front. Raquel has been chilling, watching the festivities from the back, I guess you could say the sidelines now, but we'll get her back in the mix as well because, of course, for our GoLive Vegas audience, we still have plenty more to come here from the Portnoy Gallery. Again, just look at some of this sports work, guys. And I know this is where I just kind of nerd out here. The Denver Broncos, the Orange Crush defense. This is what I mentioned earlier when we had Neil on the set outside with us from the Super Bowl a few years ago. Tom Brady's last Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Bruce Arians, captured in this. Look at this oil canvas here, this canvas work, all initially done with magic marker. Exactly, and that's what's so spectacular. You look at it and it looks like a classic oil painting, but it's not. It's a magic marker work that starts, Aaron, go ahead and get back on me really quick, starts the little picture portrait this big, and it just boom, blown up. That's the kind of art Neil does. Very heavy with the hand, the illustrations. This isn't like, painting on a canvas. This is a guy going down with a marker in hand and doodling like no one else can doodle. That's how talented he is, but this is really one of my favorites here. You have the Orange Crush Broncos. Again, more Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson. You have Madison Bumgarner, World Series hero from about 10 years ago. This one I love down here. Again, these are all for sale. You got Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer. You got a little more Palmer and Nicklaus over here. Dan Marino. We showed you this wall earlier with the Dale Earnhardt tribute. It's a Stanley Cup champions, our own Golden Knights right here. Look at that. That is incredible. That looks like oil work that you would get in like some kind of crazy, like super kind of stoic setting, but instead it's artwork that's done through illustration, through drawing, and it's in a super casual, fun, chill setting because Neil and Dorothy pride themselves in that. We're gonna go and start working our way back outside here. We'll take you to the other side of the gallery. And we'll give you a look in here. This is where the term Portnoy comes from. This is what he's talking about. This is the honor that Steve was getting tonight, that Patty is getting tonight, and are celebrating right now on GoLive Vegas, that we're bringing that coverage to you. It's live in the moment. This is why. These are the entertainers, the celebrities, the mainstays of Vegas that have made such an impact, that have earned the honor of being right there. There you go. That have earned the honor of being Portnoy. And Aaron Elakis, the brains behind the operation here at GoLive Vegas, he's in this particular crop. He's in this distinguished class. Again, just look how many there are. They're everywhere you look, there's a creation to be showcased, and that's what's so cool. It just goes to show the body of work for 5 decades of illustrations from Neil Portnoy and Neil Portnoy only. And you look at so much of the musical stuff, the Jerry Garcia, Drake, Steven Tyler, early Beatles, more sports work here. Mike Krzyzewski. Various elements, or time periods, I should say, of sports history and entertainment history. More of the the more natural-oriented artwork. Again, we saw the endangered species collection, which is absolutely mesmerizing, but so are his caricatures and his illustrations. And this is what's so cool about it. It is a classic art studio. It's like an art studio you'll find anywhere else. But what makes it so impressive is that the way it's laid out, and every little room, every little corner fully shows and conveys what this gallery is meant to accomplish. And it's so cool. Look at Neil in the corner here. This is a live shot. This is what it's all about here. And this is what it's all about. Like these candid conversations, casual interactions. We saw the live of entertainment that's still going on. We saw the honors of being Portnoy. What is it for you as someone who can do this once a month for the Wham festivities? What does this mean to you being in Las Vegas and being able to tap into the Portnoy gallery?
I actually found this place through a friend of mine who got Portnoy. So when I came here that first night, I was just like, wow. And I got to meet Neil and Dorothy, and it was just great.
And then what?
And then I just kept coming back, and
What's? Yeah, absolutely.
I own a marketing agency for Blue Social Marketing, and I also sell skincare for Beauty Society. So I'm a busy girl.
There you go. All very
But
busy.
I love coming out. This is local Vegas. This is stuff we like to do. For a few hours.
Absolutely, and you capture, yes, back in the pool, but you capture the essence of Vegas right here. Are you an art fan outside of this? Have you always been interested in the galleries?
I do. Okay. I like galleries. I like to walk through them and through the Park West, all the Park West anyway.
Right.
On cruise ships, the Park West are everywhere. Yep. So I have seen some of your stuff on the ship. So.
And then everything that Neil and Dorothy bring to the table, what really stood out to you? Obviously, you mentioned your friend was being Portnoy. That's a huge honor. We're honoring people who have had that a very honor tonight. We just got done doing that. But was there anything else in particular? Was there something cultural? Was there something intimate? Was there something personal that stood out, whether it be the caricatures, the illustrations? What really pops about Neil's art to you?
It's the detail. He really captures he finds an image that you have. He finds he finds your personality in the facial expressions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So he just you see that person in his art. So.
Absolutely. And then really quick, we'll go ahead and let you go on, continue. There's a lot of mingling to be done, but really quick, go ahead and plug to our audience your business a little bit more. You gave us some details, but go ahead. How do we find you? How do we find more information about social media, marketing, wherever that may lead?
I'm Barbara Lucian. I own Blue Social Marketing. That's BLEU Social Marketing. And you can catch my website at bluesocialmarketing.com. I have pages as well, and then Beauty Society by Barbara if you want to go on Facebook, and that's the skincare that I represent. So, enjoy Vegas. Come out and enjoy another side of being out here.
And that's a perfect way, Barbara, so much. That's a perfect way to sum it all up. It's another side of Vegas, but it perfectly encapsulates what Vegas is all about. And you see just, again, those casual conversations that can be had, a lot of stereotypes about art shows and galleries. You don't have any of that here. It's all casual, it's all intimate, and it's all very, very reflective of the community that Neil and Dorothy have created, and really just anyone else who's involved. So thank you guys so much. We still have plenty more to show you. We'll actually go ahead and work back this way a little bit. You look at some of these here. More of that Portnoy style of art, that Portnoy trademark. Look at the celebrities. Look at the different musicians, the artists. Pink, Usher. You have Billy Joel, Carlos Santana. So many. And we hate to interrupt here, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk to Dorothy herself.
Here I am.
Just how much does not, and obviously this is a regular thing with Wham, but how much do nights like tonight, when people could come, have the honor of being Portnoy, look at Neil's art, but also reflect, share stories with you, look at the different photographs. Well, what is it about tonight that makes it so special?
I think it's all the energy, and I always feel that when people come to the gallery, because of all the art and all the color, and it's very creative,
Yes.
It brings out the creativity in everybody. It's fun.
And you gotta love how many avenues it taps into. One thing we were just showing on the other side of the gallery was kind of this personal wall that shows the journey you and Neil have taken. And there's a lot of creations that come from his mind and come from his hand, and of course from your help as well. But it's kind of cool to see the networking that kind of builds over the years, the relationships.
Over on the other wall.
Absolutely.
So the history.
The history.
Yeah.
That's the exact way we phrased it. It was
or the pictures of Neil.
Incredible. You see the evolutionary timeline. But what's so cool is about that, it's like you kind of feel a part of the story, even if you're just here for the first time, if you come to Wham
Right.
on a normal occurrence.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you come to the gallery, I usually give a tour. So
Right.
I give a guided tour, and it's nice. And then Neil's here, which is great. So he has a story almost for every piece he did.
Yeah.
And so I know some of those stories, so I can share with you, and then he can fill in more.
Absolutely.
Like there's one piece here, which is really
Yeah,
great.
by all
I don't
means,
know if he
please.
told you.
Go ahead, Aaron. We'll follow Dorothy here.
So this piece here of Ted Williams.
Yep.
Was commissioned by the MLB.
The artwork was commissioned by Major League. The artwork was commissioned by Major League Baseball when Ted retired.
Yep.
They had an event at the Wang Center in Boston called "An Evening with Number 9 and Friends." I mean, Joe DiMaggio was there, Howard Cosell, everybody big was there. And Polaroid, remember them, was the corporate sponsor of the event. So what they did is they took this original artwork, which was 16 by 20, and made 8 by 10 reproductions and put it in everybody's booklet.
Yeah.
I had an 11 by 14 made for me, and then of course Ted signed it for me.
Right.
But going back to my baseball past, we used to take the kids from college down to the Red Sox facility for spring training because it was their spring training as well. So I get to talk to Ted on 2 or 3 different occasions. And he used to love to talk to me because he knew I was a former player.
Absolutely.
So we had a little bit of a connection.
And I love that because you're both baseball guys, and obviously you have as legendary as it gets. I mean, when it comes to hits, it doesn't get any legendary. And you, who not only is a fan, but like I love how you told us that outside before we were got going with the night and came inside. You use your experiences and your passion in other walks of life into this one as well, and that's what's so cool. You have the 72 Dolphins, Deacon Jones, Derek Jeter. I mean, I've seen Larry Bird, Jackie Robinson. I mean, we have pictures of you with Lawrence Taylor shaking his hand on the history wall. You could tell it means a lot to you.
I wasn't shaking his hand; he was shaking mine.
And it's exactly what Neil said. It's all about the collaboration because in this sense, if you're like in a locker room or watching in 1986 on the field, you're in his world. But when they're doing this, they're in your world, and that's what's so cool. It's no different than when someone comes to talk to me in the studio. It's an honor, but at the same time, they're talking to me in the studio. It's my world, and that's what makes you realize you're all just peers, really.
One of the great stories I tell about when Ted Williams and I used to get together. He looked at me one day and he said, "Hey, Coach, you got to let him hit the ball." And I looked at him and said, "You're the greatest hitter of all time. What do you mean let him hit the ball?" He said, "Coach, pitching is nothing more than upsetting timing." He said, "Let me tell you a story. If you struck somebody out on 3 pitches, 3 batters an inning, what would you throw an inning?" I said, 9 pitches. He said, "Over 9 innings, what would you throw for the game?" I went 81. He goes, "I like your math." He said, "Coach, if you got him out on 1 pitch, what would you throw an inning?" I said, 3. He said, "Multiply that over 9. What would you rather do?" He said, "Let him hit the ball. Don't let him hit the whole ball." How do you do that? Upset timing. Change speeds, change location, change eye level.
Right.
The 3 key ingredients, which is what, as a pitching instructor at the collegiate level, that's what I taught.
Right.
I don't care how hard you throw. We had a guy, Jamie Moyer,
Yeah.
pitched for the Seattle Mariners, couldn't even break 80 miles an hour when he got big league hitters out. Upset timing, change speeds.
And I love that. See that personal anecdote? This all comes into play with the artwork itself, with the illustrations. And these are hand done by a magic marker. Really, when you look at them, you wouldn't believe it. You really wouldn't. It looks like some kind of crazy oil canvas work that you'd see on some grand mural. Neil just sits down and goes to work with elbow grease, and that's what makes it so remarkable. Let me ask you, who was the first athlete that you made an illustration of? Can you remember? Was it Ted Williams?
No, it wasn't. It was actually, I got involved in the collegiate marketplace. And the first one that I ever did was the Assumption College Greyhounds had senior night for their basketball players. So I created senior portraits to honor them. That was their recognition, their 4-year career at the collegiate level, and that was their going away gift from the athletic department. Now that spiraled into me doing 12 NCAA Athletic Hall of Fames all over the country, over 600 media guide covers, game programs. You can see behind me I was also the official artist at the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So during the enshrinement ceremony, I did the covers of the media guides, the commemorative poster. But this is a journey. When does the journey end? It never ends.
And that's what's so cool about this gallery. You walk through the different wings of the studio. It's like this evolutionary journey. You see different timelines, different, trips along, different stops along the way, but it's all this one big collective trip. Really quick, I have one more question to ask you. And we'll probably talk to you again throughout the night. You're going to be busy, but when you start to get going on, when you're Portnoying someone, I guess you could say, is there, exactly, when you begin your caricaturization of them, is there something that you look at then pursue it from there? Like if they're a certain entertainer, is it a certain shot of them playing? Is it a certain shot of them singing? Is it an athlete doing something? What is it?
Well, you need a good high resolution headshot. Once I have the headshot, I'll create the body position, whether they're a vocalist or a musician. But the real key, and I know you've taken many shots of the Portnoy Wall of Honor,
Yeah.
you can recognize everybody. To my left on this wall over here, the far end of the wall are Vegas headliners that have been Portnoy from, God, I don't know. Aaron's probably going over there now showing some pictures. All the way on the right-hand side, Aaron, you'll see the most important thing in any illustration is the eyes.
Okay.
Because the eyes to the inner soul. If you can capture the look, the eyes, the rest of it, for me at least, is very simple.
So do you, in your professional opinion, in your expert opinion, when it comes to caricatures, is that sometimes where people get it wrong? I know you're not trying to be too critical on a night like tonight where it's celebrating, but do you think sometimes people miss that element of getting the eyes down?
Well, the definition of caricature is a gross exaggeration. I don't exaggerate. I always give people my disclaimer, which is management not responsible for the way you already look. And that covers me right off the bat. My caricature is a portrait caricature, so it's really a portrait face caricature. Every line's an expression. Now, I'm not a trained artist in anatomy, so the anatomy isn't perfect, but every line's an expression. That's where the caricature, and that transcribes over to portrait work, illustration work. Every line's an expression.
And that's what's so cool because there's an element of intimacy there. I know it kind of sounds like a funny word to use, but when you walk in, you see that, and it's cool to hear that because it's that intimate window into the soul, into the mind. That's what you get in the eyes, and I know it sounds deep, but when you come look at the work, at the Portnoy portraits and all the different illustrations, you get just that. Neil, thank you so much. We got to continue to showcase this because this is absolutely incredible on what is a very special night. And here we go.
Right,
Absolutely. The man himself who was honored earlier. I just have to ask you, what does tonight mean to you as someone who's known Neil for quite some time, who knows what his art means to the community, now that you're immersed into that world? How is it for you?
Well, I'll be honest with you. He does great advocacy work,
Yes.
him and his wife Dorothy, for all of his entertainers in this community in Las Vegas. Historically so, there's over 400 of us on the Wall of Honor. And it's a special honor to me because I've been here for 32 years, lived longer here than anywhere in my life. So this is like my hometown. So it's really special for this award for me to have been bestowed upon.
That's awesome. And for someone to Neil with who has his East Coast roots, but to come over here and make such an impact on this town, have you kind of felt a part of it even before tonight? Because tonight is big for you and celebrating your career and your impact and your contributions to Las Vegas. But seeing what the work that Neil has done in the community has created, is that special to be a part of for you?
Absolutely it is. And I think we all share that have been Portnoy and exposed to his artwork and his talents.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And then moving forward, if there was someone who you would whether they're a newcomer to Vegas, whether they're a mainstay, what would you recommend the best way to immerse themselves in the culture? As someone who's been out here entertaining for 32 years, and as someone who's now, really being celebrated for that, not saying you're doing your victory lap just yet, but you could kind of sit back and reflect. What would you tell for someone who's kind of entering Vegas in 2024, 2025?
I would say learn the history of Vegas first and foremost. Give yourself a self-tour to experience what this place is all about. Entertainment capital of the world. Not just music, it's for every form of entertainment that's imaginable. And just live it to the fullest. I mean, there's so many things to do here culturally. There's significant sports, art like this, music, and just about anything else you can imagine. And I think that would be the best thing to do. Go down to Fremont Street District and experience the old school, old Vegas vibe that's down there.
Absolutely.
And just get immersed in it, that's all.
And I love that word, immersion, because that's what it's all about. And you could get an essence of the old school and the new school. As someone who has been in the entertainment capital of the world for as long as you have, someone who entertains the way you have, and as someone who's made the impact, what do you think now, as great as the old Vegas is, what do you think Vegas represents moving forward in the future for people like you, for people like Neil, and everyone in this community?
Well, I think it represents that we are the number one tourist destination in the world, and we offer a plethora of different things for anybody to do, to come here to visit, even to live. And I think it's so important. You're never going to be bored in Las Vegas ever.
Ever.
And New York is the city that never sleeps, but this city never sleeps.
Ever, and it never has. Let me ask you, at this point in your career, what's important to you? Because it's cool to get, your flowers tonight, and you rightfully should, and everyone here to kind of join in the celebration, but you don't strike me as someone who's done yet. What do you continue to plan to do as a Las Vegas local, as an entertainer, as someone who now has the honor of being Portnoy?
Well, I'm doing it now. I mentor many
Yes.
up and coming artists and produce them to do what I did in my career up to this point, to make their dreams and goals come true. That's
What
my job.
and what do you think is the biggest first step, whether it be like a certain roadblock you have to cover,
They
a
need to
certain
learn-
foundation?
They need to learn the industry and be mentored properly by somebody that has that kind of ability and experience behind them.
And that's great feedback. And do you think not only the expertise that you can provide, but do you think you are in a setting that you could provide it where someone out in a coastal city that's known for entertainment, a New York, an LA, or even in the Midwest, anywhere in the country, do you think you have an advantage being here, not just as someone who's entertained here, but as someone who can show you, listen, this is how the nightlife works, this is how the live entertainment works. It's going to be a little bit different here, but if you can, they say that about New York, but entertainment wise, if you can make it here, you can really make it anywhere. Am I right?
Yes, you can. If you put your heart and mind into something, you can. And I have an original quote. If you dream hard enough and long enough, your dreams come true. But it takes work, discipline, and determination.
You gotta love it, and that's what tonight's all about. That's what celebrations like tonight are all about. Absolutely, but that's what's so cool.
I know.
Because this is what it's all about, and this goes to show he's not done. The night is young. He still has work to be done, so we'll let him get back to it. Steve, thank you so much, buddy. Congratulations to you, sir. Thank you. Back at you. So that's what's so fun about nights like tonight. And we got so much joy, so much fun going around here, and we're not even done. We're only about an hour in, and it's a laid back vibe, and that's what's so cool, Neil, is that, and I kind of mentioned to you a moment ago, you get like a lot of stereotypes about the art community. You have none of that here.
No, you listen. Everybody's got stories.
Yes.
Everybody's got ills. Everybody's got promise. Everybody's got good things happening. But throw them all away when you walk in Portnoy Gallery. You're going to be treated like everybody else, and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the artwork, enjoy the music, enjoy the wine, enjoy meeting new people.
Yes.
Because you never know when that one moment in time will change everything.
And absolutely, and those are words to live by. That's what nights like tonight are all about. And we're just going to continue to circle around. We're going to continue to follow everything, make it a part of our coverage, because we want to bring every little bit of what they present here to you, because it's hard to just put your thumb on it and say it's a night about celebrating art or celebrating a career's work. It's more than that. It's about tapping into the community. It's about bringing people into the community, and it's about just a reflection of where Vegas is, of where the art scene is, and where groups like this, where they can come to congregate to really honor that very element. So we'll just kind of show you a little bit more here, get one more glimpse before we wrap it up. Again, still so much to be done here tonight, so much to talk about, so much to cover, but we've so far have done a great job of at least giving you a good idea about what they try to accomplish tonight. And we just talked to Steve. We'll hopefully talk to Patty a little bit. They're the ones being Portnoyed, entertainers, fabulous musicians, fabulous artists, singers, and of course, Neil, the brilliant artist himself, who brings it all to life with his magic marker, with his hand. Great stuff here, and plenty more to come. We're excited here at the Portnoy Gallery, so don't go anywhere. It's a Wham on a Tuesday here. GoLive Vegas will be back in just a second.